I'm your science teacher. We are learning physics. We are learning chapter 14, natural resources. Okay. Now, uh, what we are going to see today is, if you see, we are going to see how does a cloud form. How does that cloud bring rain to us? Very interesting things, right? You must be wondering. Many a times you have seen. You must be seeing this rainy days, right, over there. Now. For that, let me explain you this small activity. Take an empty bottle of the sort in which the bottle water is sold. Pour about 5 to 10 ml in it and close the bottle tightly. So you just have to take a bottle and you have to pour only 5 to 10 ml of water. Then um, shake it well and leave it into the sun for 10 minutes. Okay, understood? Then what we have to do, this causes the air in the bottle to be saturated with water vapor. So basically, a water vapor is formed because the water get heated and the water vapor is formed. Second, now take the incense stick, right, agarbatti. Open the cap and allow some smoke. With the help, we are putting some smoke into it. So what happen is, quickly close the bottle and make sure the cap is tightly. Now press the bottle as hard with your hands and crush it as much as possible. Wait for a few seconds and release the bottle. Okay. So what happens is, if you see, this experiment replicates on a very small scale. How does an air with a very high content? See, the air is like the smoke is there. That is mixing with the water vapor. That is mixing with water vapor. Okay. So understand this small thing. It is mixing with water vapor. So here what we are going to see is, this is what happened in a water vapor. Okay. Now what next they are telling us is, see, now what we are going to do is, this is how the water vapor is been carried out. The water vapor, right, is been carried out by smoke. Okay, so you know, when the water bodies are heated during the day, a large amount of water vapor goes into the air. You know, uh, the continuous process, right? The continuous process is happening around you. If you see, continuous, the water is getting heated, right? So it is a continuous process around you. Now, some amount of water vapor also get into the atmosphere because of some biological activities, like the one you can see around, right? So because of that, continuous activities are going. So this air also get heated. This hot air rises up in the form of water vapor. As the water rises up and expand, right, and cools. Now basically, when the water rises up, this water vapor get cooled down. Why does it cool down? It cooled down because of the upper atmosphere is not that much hot. It cools down. So that water vapor, the water which is evaporated and goes up, get converted into tiny droplets. Yes, condense. You know what is the condensation, we told you, right? So this condense and it converted into tiny droplets. This condensation water is facilitated if some particles act, right? So basically, now you know the upper atmosphere and the wind, it carries some dust and other suspended particles also. Now this condensation water, this tiny droplet, this process continues and this droplets keeps on accumulating. This droplets will become bigger in size, and the moment it become very heavy, big and heavy, it fall down in the sense of rain. Yes, it fell in the form of rain. So understood? So this is how a cloud and things are formed. Okay. So cloud and this are formed because of this reason. Clear? I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So this is what happened. Okay. This is what happened. Right? So finally, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is what happened in it. Okay. Now this, it is so low enough and precipitate as in the sense of the water okay, and the rainfall patterns are decided. Okay, so this is how the rain is. Again, I repeat. What first thing? uh, the vapor. How does the vapor comes? Because of some large amount of heat is there, and the water keeps on evaporating, right? So that is the reason always the monsoon season comes after the summer season. So summer comes and then only comes monsoon. You never seen monsoon after winter. Understand this logic also. Okay, so this is how a rain and rainfall comes and the pattern goes. Okay, so I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So in order to understand this thing, right, in order to understand this thing, keep keep this in mind. Okay, now, so the water evaporate, the water goes up in forms of a water vapor, right? The water goes in form of a water vapor, and then the things goes in that way. Then the water vapor accumulates some dust and all. It converted into it condensed and it converted into tiny water droplets. Did water droplets keeps on increasing in size, and this is how the rain comes. Okay, now the question arises, how does the rain comes, right? Normally Indian rains comes from southwest to northeast. Now see, whenever you see the rain, the heat, right? So heating part over that zone is more than us. So this is how it happened. Okay, so this is how it happened. Understands what I'm trying to say? So exactly, right? So this is how it happened, and that is how the rain pattern follows. Okay, so my question, I hope I make you clear how does the rain is form and all. Okay, now coming ahead to the same question. Okay, let me take you to the next one. So this is how we have heard about weather and depression. Now we told you the how does the rain goes from one end to another end, and how does it flow from one to other part. Okay, so that exactly the way it work. Okay, now, right. So see, whenever there is a heat, I told you earlier. So when there is a heat, like low pressure high pressure kind of thing is created, and it goes from one end to another end, and it goes like this. Okay, so this is how the rainy part work. So I hope what I'm trying to tell you, you're getting it. Okay, so this is how the wind flows, and this is how it take the rain from one part to another part. Okay, so this is how, please understand how does the rain is formed, how does it flows from one part to another part, and it goes like that. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day. We are going to see what is an air pollution next time. The water, the next topic, what we are going to see is the water part, the beautiful wonder, right? And we'll see the next one. Okay, till then, bye. Take care. I'll see you in the next session.